This is another episode of Voices, and today we have an amazing guest who started all of her journey just like me and many others from her room, which was not intended to be one of the big things which she established today for herself, but it all started like a mini project in her room. And we have Surbhi with her brand named Chocotarian. So instead of me talking about it, Surbhi, why don't you tell us what's Chocotarian and who's Surbhi? Give us a short brief about it.
So, hi, I'm Surbhi Jain, owner and founder of Chocotarian. So, I started baking when I was 8 years old. So, I would not say that this is something that I really always wanted to do or I knew I would be doing.
Okay.
But I knew that there was a passion for cooking and especially for baking. So, that's how I started. I have burnt a lot of cakes. I have done a lot of things which were not supposed to be done in the right way because I never had that education in that background with the techniques. So it was all trial and error, and that's how I started. But my family and my friends have been my critic, my biggest support. They have tried all the, best and the worst that I have made. And it's been 7 years that I've been baking, and I feel no less than any other retail bakery because I know what meeting deadlines are. I know what working till 3 a.m. means, and I just know that this is my stress buster, and I live for that perfect fluff on my cake and a happy client, and that makes me what I am.
So professionally, you meant you started baking 7 years ago.
7 years ago, but my trials and my
It all
passion and all
started
started when I was 8.
You were 8. Like, who knows? Like, what do you do?
I did not know that I wanted to get into it, but yeah, I enjoyed that. And I was always said that do this later, study. But I was like, no, I used to hide myself and, always make a point that if it's a celebration, then I try to bake something. I don't know how it would ultimately be like, but yeah,
So since
my
you
trials were on.
So you talked a lot about, you said like, you know what meeting deadlines are, you know what is to be awake till 3 a.m. And then you said something which is really nice, which is you said, this is my stress buster.
Yes.
So this deadlines and everything, does this cause you stress or it's a stress buster? Because I'm
It
pretty sure.
initially does cause stress.
Yeah, because it's fun for a while, but
Yeah.
when you have to like do it on a massive scale,
Yeah.
like do you feel stressed? Like,
So
what's the-
it's all happy until I start doing it because I'm excited about the project that I have taken up or the order that I've taken up. But until and unless, because if I have taken an order and I have to complete it on time, so that's my stress. But the actual labor that goes into making and designing and decorating every piece that I'm making, that part is my stress buster. The stress part is only meeting the deadline.
Okay.
But the baking is my stress buster.
So like you enjoy the process, but
Yeah.
you don't enjoy the deadlines. Like,
Yes.
nahi yaar, kal subah dena padega. Nahi. Okay. So you said about the labor
Yeah.
which goes into it. Are you doing all by yourself? Because when you started, I'm pretty sure you started by yourself.
Yeah.
But today, now they are massive orders. You just told me about it that you grew from not even having one order like in a
a week.
month, in a week, or now you have like 50 orders a week, something close to that. So is it all just by you, or there are other things going into this?
So when I initially started it, I just jumped into this business without knowing the know-how or having any staffs, chefs working with me. So I started and I was in college, so I used to manage both my work and studies at the same time. So it was very easy because it was once in a week, twice in a week maybe. But now I do have a team of 6 people. I have 4 chefs working, 1
Whoa.
staff working, and I'm also there. So yeah, I do. I have.
Okay. Now that's nice. That's really nice. You have 4 chefs working with
Yes.
you along with you on your projects. So so everything is home based? What's the scenario of home based baker and what
It's
is it
totally home based. So I have certain limitations because I can't do the industrial level productions and I can't take really big orders. But I try to split my order and complete it as to my best possibility. And I have 3 ovens at home. I have 4 staff, so we divide our work. Someone's in the morning, someone's in the evening, and we try to finish.
Okay, so everything is at home.
Everything
is
is
done
at home from scratch.
So is it ever happened that you had to meet a certain deadline and you couldn't?
No.
Never.
No, never.
So you have like 100% client satisfaction rate.
Yes.
So did it ever happen like where somebody didn't like the taste, or like how did you feel? How did you face that particular thing? If it
Yeah,
ever happened?
that has been rare, thankfully, but yes, it has been there with me. And there have been clients, because it's something very subjective and you might not like. So my only drawback is that you can't taste before you actually order a big cake, since I don't have a cafe or a shop. So you order a certain cake, you just order it by the picture or word of mouth.
Okay.
And so you might not like it, or you might not have a taste developed for the same flavor. So there have been like, people have been like, they don't like a certain flavor or something. But
So what do you do? Like this is
in that case, I try to make it up. I try to send something, of their taste next day to them, so that they are happy and connected with us, and I don't lose them as a client. But I do try to satisfy them as much as I can.
okay. So you
I never let a client be unsatisfied or unhappy.
Whoa, that's that's a really hard policy to keep up with when it goes to 50 orders a week, and I'm pretty sure like you must be having a good satisfaction rate. We could just see. So there are two questions which I really want to ask. Number one, which people have asked me.
Okay.
So I just went through the couple of questions, and number one question, there was somebody who asked what it is to be like a woman in the business.
It has been difficult, because when I initially started, people were like, you're too young for it, and then you're a girl and don't do this. I don't think this is, worth your time and labor. It's your time to study and then get married and then just go on with the normal
The
process.
difficulty.
And I was like, no, I want to do this, and this is what makes me happy. I mean, this is it. And I kept doing it. I kept proving myself. There have been a lot of family members also who thought that I'm just doing it for like time pass, or maybe just some money. But I never actually did it for money. It was my passion, which was my driving factor. And I had, people down the line changed their view, and they were like, no, now you're an inspiration. And now they are saying to their kids that,
Be
do
like
something
Surbhi.
like this, and don't study, don't go the normal way, don't get married, do
Wow.
follow your passion.
Is there someone who you know like they actually
Yes, I
said
do
it?
know. Like, do follow your passion. It can be anything, baking, designing, whatever. But do what makes you happy.
Wow. You'd really deserve an award if any parent says something like this to a kid just because of
I
what
do
you
have
done.
cousins and friends who call me up. They're like, please don't come in front of my parent. I mean, every time you come and leave, and then I have to, listen to
Hear a
all
lot.
this and be like her, be like her.
But
I
still
am
good. Like it still puts people in a nice position where parents are like, okay, it's fine. You can follow your passion. You can do, because this is one of the bigger problems.
Yes, it's overwhelming at times, and I also feel that I'm not in a position where I can, inspire people and set an example that you be like me or do something that I did. But when eventually I get to hear things and people calling up and saying that what you're doing is great, I'm like, okay.
Okay. So, and
I'm very bad at taking compliments.
I know, like, whenever somebody tries to compliment the person who is not very used to it in the beginning, they're always like, no.
No, it's even now when people are like, I'm like, okay, thank you. And what else do I say?
Own it.
I am grateful for it, but I still can't own it that much.
No, like, still own it. You should. I mean, you deserve it. You
Thank
clearly
you.
do. So, I have a couple of friends who are into baking and not into baking. They just like doing it at their
Okay.
homes. They do it for us.
Okay.
Like, they just bake cakes. In fact, one of my cousins is into it.
Okay.
And one of the biggest problems is they all say like you need a large capital to get into
Okay.
the business, to
Yes.
get the business money coming, right? So what's your take on it? Because as far as I know you started all by your home, and we
Yes.
just talked about it.
Yes.
So money wasn't a big factor in this. But many people have this contradictory to this thought. Many people have this thought that they want to, if they don't have the money, if they don't have the right course, if they don't have the right shop or the right brand, they won't be able to scale it up or make enough money where they can survive their lifestyle
Yeah.
just by baking. So is it true?
I don't think so. It depends on how you start. I would suggest it's
How
always.
did you do it? Like, let's just explain.
I
everyone to
started
that.
with baby steps. So I started with a very limited capital.
Can we put it in numbers? Like starting, like how did you start orders? How did you do that? Because it will help somebody to replicate the same model and build something like Chocotarian.
See, I can't tell you the capital that I started with, but I did start with a very, very, very small amount, and that was just to buy my ingredients and my oven.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing else
So
apart
just
from
the
that.
limited resources which you
Just the
require for
limited,
basic baking.
yeah.
Okay.
And since I do it at home, I hardly have any cost involved in terms of a refrigerator or air conditioner or whatever, because it's already installed.
Okay.
So my cost was labor, ingredients, a little gift wrapping stuffs and
This
all
is
that.
this is
that-
normal. This, I think, anyone who's into baking already
Yes.
might be having all
and
of
some
this. Because-
utensils and all that, which is just initial investment. But once you start actually taking it up seriously and you do get a couple of orders, you feel that a break even is not that difficult,
Okay.
and you could easily do it if you
So how did you get? Like, how
don't
to
stock
get
up on a lot
orders?
of things. Don't stock up. Start slow. Start basic, and I'm sure you can make that much money that you at least
Can survive your life.
yeah, regulate the same thing and then start.
But the major problem which I was coming to is how to get a brand like for yourself, how to expand that, how to get orders. Because when you start, you're just couple of friends are ready to eat your
Yeah.
food, are ready to eat your cakes and pastries and everything for free.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to orders, it takes
Yeah,
a lot
true.
for them to give you an
True.
order and then you go and actually do
So
it.
I'm very lucky to have been born in the time of social media playing such an important role,
Mhm.
because social media has made Chocotarian what it is today. Because we don't really do any other sort of marketing. It's mostly on social media and very less on print.
Hmm.
So social media has increased my brand awareness, my brand engagement.
Okay.
It has built a personal connection with my followers. It took me a very long time to build my followers, my Instagram family, but it makes very easy for people to see what we do on a daily basis. What's the kitchen scene like, or what's the orders like, how big it is, how small it is, what are we capable of, and that's when people started believing in us. Even my friends thought कि ठीक है चलो, it may be because of a time pass or
Yeah.
ऐसे ही कर रही है, whatever. They also started believing in me professionally after I
a long
proved it a
time.
couple of times, and it did take 1 or 2 years. And then they started professionally ordering, and their family calling me up and paying for it. And
So just like being in the business for a long time helped you, and it can help many people.
Yes.
Also, one
And
more
also
strategy.
social media.
Social media, like when you talk about social media, there's one more strategy which just came into my mind. I don't know whether it's true. Like you would be the
Yeah.
better validator for this. The strategy can be, let's say, if you want to start something like baking or anything of that sort, you can start doing it at your home and try to call 10 of your friends, like 10 friends. I'm pretty sure everybody must be having 5 or 10 people who are close to them.
Yeah.
Cousins or friends or anyone. Try to convince them, okay, I'm sending you a cake and upload this picture on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Act as an ad influencer for
Yeah.
us. And then you upload it. And where you can play the influencer role is you can try to convince your 10 friends to convince their one friend
Yes.
who can give you an order, which will give you an initial start like of the initial 10
Yeah.
cake order and everything. And if they are good, I'm pretty sure your business must be.
That's true, but people would only want to spend that much if they have tried your stuff at least once.
No, but if I have, let's say, you're my friend and you're my really close friend, you
Yeah.
call me up and like, okay, Raj, I start something like Chocotarian.
Yeah.
I want you to order. Plus, I want one of your cousin or one of your friend, anyone,
Yeah.
to order it on your behalf because I
No.
really need orders in this start.
Yeah.
Like, can you help me
No,
out?
it isn't that easy.
So it's not that
No,
easy?
it's not that easy, and people will not want to spend or believe in you.
Even your close friends?
My friends will, but their
friends, they
cousins
won't
or
be able
whoever,
to convince anyone who's...
I can't take the guarantee. So it's
But
like
it's
out
like
of
a
10
risky
friends,
business.
maybe 4 turn out to actually order,
Okay.
and their relatives order. But I can't guarantee that each and everyone will get me another person who will order and generate business in
Oh.
some way or the other.
Yeah, it makes sense. But still it acts as I think it acts as like a nice thing which
Yeah,
spreads
it's a
awareness
drive,
about
but I don't
itself.
know. I mean,
How far will
yes,
it go?
yes.
Okay, so how did the brand Chocotarian respond? Because it all started at home. You was telling me something about it.
Yes, I did. So I would like to tell you the meaning of the brand, Chocotarian. So I just thought of this name as like vegetarian. People who eat vegetables and all veg food are called vegetarian. So people who are hardcore chocolate lovers should be called Chocotarian. So that was the concept behind
Okay,
me
nice concept.
liking this name. And luckily I found this name available
All right.
and got it registered. I think it's the passion, it's the hard work, determination, and also
Persistence more than
gratitude
anything else.
and consistency that's got
Yeah,
the brand
consistency
here.
and persistence, what we all can see here. So the question that somebody asked, like, why is it very important for you to have good-looking cakes or good-looking products when you can be creative in many other fields when it comes to taste and the product itself?
Okay. So, according to me, it's very important, or for a foodie for that fact, you first eat from your eyes. It has to first look appealing, and only then would you want to indulge in something like that. And then spending a bomb for something which doesn't look good, I'm sure you don't want to do that. And your first impression is your last impression. And for me,
Yeah,
as a
that's
foodie,
true.
if I don't like the appearance, the plating, the way you design, the neatness, the finesse that the pastry has
Yeah.
or the cake has, I would not want to order it for a social event or in front of maybe 10 people.
Makes sense.
So it has to be that presentable. Plus, you need to maintain your taste.
So people eat from their eyes.
Yeah,
That's
so you
very true.
first eat from your eyes, and then repeat orders obviously comes from the taste. But the first order will never come if your cake or
So it's
your
a
pastry
balance of
doesn't look
both.
good. Yes.
So it's a balance of
Yes,
both.
it's a balance of both.
Even I want to order something which looks bad.
Maybe once you do, if you get a lot of appreciation that this tastes really good. But for social occasions and events, it's the look that matters.
But you just don't feel like trying something new if it's not good looking. Like,
Yeah.
it's just.
That's true. So that makes it important for us, and we keep it a point that everything that we make is made with that effort and that finesse. So that when you see, you can't see any glitch in the pastry. At least you won't know that something went wrong with the presentation.
Wow. So really nice. She puts it up in a very nice words. Now I have one question. Like, let's for everyone else. Like, there's one question for me because I see the business side of it.
Yes.
And there's this question for me that whether to keep prices low so that more people can order, or whether to keep it at a higher price so that people think it's really qualitative and nice. Because there's this general mentality that if the product is expensive and it looks fancy, then it's a better product comparatively to other things.
Yes.
So what's a better strategy in this baking world, whether to keep prices at significant higher than what the industry is having at the moment, or lower than the industry rates?
See, it depends on what you expect out of your brand. So when I started this, my brand positioning and my plan was to cater to a different target audience, and for them I had priced my cakes accordingly. It was somewhere, it was not higher than what's in the market, but it was on the upper side. So people still feel I'm expensive, but that's the kind of audience I want to cater to.
So it's
And,
all about your target audience.
Yeah, it's
like
about
this.
what you want to do. If you want to increase in terms of volume, you maybe keep it low and you get more sales.
Okay.
Or you keep it high.
But is it a good strategy to get, because eventually what I've heard, like if you keep lower prices, then if you're doing the volume
Yeah.
game in F&B,
Yeah.
so you
But I don't think
technically
the
run
volume
out.
game in F&B works.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Like
No.
you run out because
Yeah.
technically people elevate their taste and preferences,
Yes.
and they're not going to be loyal
Because
customers
people are
forever.
traveling so much nowadays, they are exposed to different flavors, different pastries. Every time they travel, they see something new, so they want to come and try something new, and they want to pay for it.
Okay.
Nobody wants to come and try a pineapple pastry or a black forest pastry. You don't even get that everywhere nowadays. So people pay for it and people expect that, and every time they want to order for something different.
Okay.
So
So you want to keep it at a higher side so that people.
yeah, don't keep it so high that people can't afford it, but obviously keep it that high because it's the labor that they are paying for, it's the time and effort that goes into it.
They
And
wanna
the quality of
experience the entire
ingredients,
thing.
if everything that you use is exotic and it's pure, then I'm sure it's worth it.
All right, so we come to the last part of this particular small show which we're doing at the moment. So it's like a small rapid fire. Okay, so you have to answer it very quickly.
Okay.
We'll try to sum it up. So should we start?
Yes.
Yeah? You
Yes.
ready? Okay. So who is Surbhi Jain?
A self-taught baker.
Okay, what does baking means to you?
Passion.
What is Chocotarian for you?
Everything.
If you want to put entire Chocotarian business and you want to make it one food, what food would it be?
Nutella brownie.
Nutella brownie, okay. Who inspires you the most?
Daily challenges that I get in my life.
So what do you prefer more, burning cakes or a customer who's giving you the right feedback about your taste is not good?
A customer who gives me the honest feedback.
Do you want to share anything funny which happened during the entire journey and which has shaped you to be like something which happened?
Yeah, funniest things that I face almost every month is that people call me up and they want a big wedding cake, and which is like 40-50 pounds, but then their budget is Nowhere close to that. So I'm like in a position where I can't even tell them that, hello, you're in the wrong place.
Okay.
But I have to be very, very smart in the way I speak to them and, make them understand that, you're paying for something which looks big. So it has to be more in, your budget has to increase for the same. So yeah, that's the funniest part because,
People call you like, oh, I want 40 pound cake, I'm paying you 2,000.
Yes, they do that. People still do that and they don't even know what 40 pound means.
Okay.
But that's the kind of experience maybe someone has and then they expect the same out of it.
Alright. 20 pound cake and 40 pound cake in 2,000 rupees. I want to remember this.
I do get such calls.
You do? Like
Yes.
people have to ask you? Like,
Yes,
they want a 20 kg cake
Yes.
for 2,000.
Yes. They're like, मेरे को इतना बड़ा केक चाहिए but मेरा ना बजट इतना सही तो आप कर दो
तो
ना.
क्रीम भी नहीं आएगी.
आप कर दो ना. I'm like कैसे करें बिना डेकोरेट किए भी नहीं दे सकते.
क्रीम भी नहीं आएगी. क्या कर रहे हैं? Okay. Alright, so the question of the day, you get to ask it. So if you have any question for anyone who's watching or for me, you get to ask it.
I don't have a question really, but I would like to just address the youth and say that don't ever believe when someone comes and tries to tell you that you're too young to start, you're too young to become famous, you're too young to follow your passion. Don't pay heed to such people.
Don't.
Because passion is the drive and you can start at any point of your life. If you want to actually achieve something, it's never too soon.
True.
So-
Nice. So what was your age? Like when did you start? Like
I started when I was 19 and I was in first year of college studying food science and nutrition. I was least interested in studying nutrition. So I was there and, to study about the basics of food because that's what, made me happy. And I'm a big time foodie. So that got me there. I didn't know that I would, sum up everything and then get into
So
this
you're reading
line.
about you're studying about nutrition, diet, and everything.
Yes,
and
I was
with
studying
chocolate.
both. I was studying
Blended
like
with
both the
chocolate.
things. Yeah. So you can see nutrition didn't work.
Okay.
It was just food.
Irony is like you were studying nutrition. Alright, that sums up our episode, small episode. This is the journey of Surbhi Jain, and which teaches 3 things which I can see from the journey. 1 is you're never too young to start. Number 2, so if number 1, like never too young to start, and if anyone tried to tell you, don't pay heed to such people, as she said, because she started when she was 19, and many people don't even know where to sleep in college properly when they're 19. So, and nobody takes you seriously at that age. But if your passion is true and if you're really hungry for it, then yeah, you can definitely go for it. Number 2, stay persistent. Right? Stay persistent, because for a long time, people are not going to believe you that you're actually doing this professionally. They'll take you lightly, time pass hai, chalta rehta hai. But if you're persistent enough, you can get things going from 1 month, 1 order per month to 50 orders a week. That is some whopping transformational change. And number 3, and the most important thing is you need to focus on one thing for a long time, for a really, really, really long time, because you cannot just be like switching careers every now and then. This is one of the biggest things which I'm seeing these days. Everybody like today, I want to become a dancer. Tomorrow, I want to become a rapper. Third day, I want to become a guitarist. So it doesn't work like that. And that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Surbhi.
Thank you.
Everybody wants to order from Chocotarian. We're going to put a link here. Just go check out your order, do whatever, go crazy with your orders, and tell her the power of social media.